Good evening, movie geeks. Welcome back. And tonight we are on night 9.
Yeah.
Tonight we are on night 9. We watched Stir of Echoes from 1999, starring Kevin Bacon and
Jennifer Morrison.
Do you want to tell us about the film?
Yeah, all right. So Kevin Bacon is a man who doesn't really believe in anything, and they go over now. The opening is something that gets me. I didn't like it. They put the kid to bed, turns on the monitor, then goes over the road to a house party, and I constantly looking at the monitor. I couldn't do that. Could you?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so he does that. And there's a couple of things, isn't there? The child looks like he's talking to someone in his room.
Yeah, he's got like an imaginary
friend, as they all do. But this party goes on, and it wanes, and then it's just down to just some friends. And so it seems to be like the whole street has been there. And there's a woman there who's their friend who decides to hypnotise him, and he says, "It's not real, it's not true," and he gets hypnotised. But you see him get hypnotised, and it's like a split second. It's like, it's not going to work. But it turns out he's been doing lots of stuff.
Yeah,
under hypnosis.
Comes too, but it's a split second later.
Yeah.
He's got like tears on his
Yeah.
face.
And she says that some people are quite suggestive, but there's a very small minority who are super suggestible, and that's what happens. He is hypnotised, and then after that, because it's the 90s, you can now see dead people. How's that for a summary?
Yeah, all right.
So, I really, really enjoyed this film. I'd never seen it. I've always known and heard of the film Stir of Echoes, and I think you might have mentioned it a couple of times.
Yeah, I think it's one of my suggestions.
Yeah, it was. But I've never seen it. I've never really been inclined to watch it, but I really enjoyed it. It was one of those films that is just entertaining right the way through. It's fairly predictable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But other than that, no, it's a really, really good watch. What do you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I probably watched this when it first came out, and I've watched it a few times, so it's quite nice seeing your reaction because you'd never seen it before. And Kevin Bacon he's a bit, I think he's he works on the telephones and the White Hill.
Yes.
I don't know what the technical term is, sorry.
Lineman.
We call him BT. But yeah, he works on the phone wires, and he's quite a guy's guy and likes to watch football, drinking beer, he likes to go out with his friends. And I think he's quite a closed off person. With his wife, as well as anything that would be remotely supernatural or anything like that. And his sister-in-law, when she hypnotising him, when he's realised he started seeing all these weird, bizarre things, and he's sort of panicking a bit. He's like, "What's going on?" He goes and wakes her up. He's like, "Whatever you've done, you need to undo it." He was like, "What did you say?" And she said, "All I said was that you need to be open."
She's opened him up a lot.
But it does only sort of see the things that are happening in his own house, and he rents the house. So the friend's house that they were at the beginning, the party, it's rented from him and another guy on the block. It's sort of a small neighbourhood in, Philadelphia?
Yeah, I'd say something like that.
I can't remember if it's Chicago or Philadelphia. But they kind of said, it's a really nice neighbourhood.
Yeah. And you do get that sense as well, because they have like a block party and like barbecues and stuff, and they all seem really close.
And they look out for each other. So the two other guys who own the house, they sort of keep, as it progresses, they hear all sorts going on at the house and think, what's he doing? We've only just refurbed it.
And it's like I say, it is predictable. You do get a sense, or at least I did. I knew what was going to happen. I knew where it was going.
He's obsessed, doesn't he? What he basically sees is a ghost of a young teenage girl. He sort of sits down on the couch and goes like that, and she's sat there and she's sort of trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
And then I think he falls, panics, and she's not there. And he's trying to recreate it, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he can't.
Yeah,
so he gets frustrated that he can't recreate it. But his son sort of goes, "Oh, you can see now, Daddy, like me." And you will see that he can see this girl, and the girl's getting more frustrated because she's like, classic
Yeah.
ghost that's tied to the house because of what happened to her, and she wants to leave. So she sort of escalates things, and she's like turning the TV for the kid, isn't she? And just different things.
Which, funnily enough, goes to either Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, it goes to a scary film, and he's like, I'm not allowed this, and she keeps turning it over. But it's a good film. It's very old. I mean, we're not spoiling it, I don't think, by going into everything. And it does turn out that she is a local missing girl.
Yeah.
And that her sister comes to babysit. They get a number off somebody, one of the neighbours of this close community, and it turns out it's the sister of the ghost. And when she's there, she can hear the little boy talking on the monitor, and he's talking to her sister. And he's like, she's like, how do you know about my sister? How do you? And he's like, she's been here. So she grabs the boy
and takes him.
Runs off. He has some sort of premonition.
Well, he keeps seeing red lights, and red lights are flashing in his face, and it started when the girl came round.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was acting quite weird, and she was getting a really weird vibe off him because he was acting weird.
Yeah.
And they were all going to this like football game, weren't they? In the end, he ends up
running back because
he just knows that she's taking a kid, and again, he's open, so that's not a ghost type of thing. That's just him being influenced by
following
his parental
feelings,
instincts. Yeah. So he captures her. They do find her. They're at a train station. He figures out
with the mother as well.
Yeah, and the girl has took him to the missing girl's mother because she said, you know something about my sister. Well, she's been missing for ages, and they're really upset. You feel for the family, and they take the kid back, and that kind of finishes that bit of it. And then he kind of just goes crazy. He stops got to work. He can't stop obsessing. He needs to know what's going on. And he digs up the garden and all sorts.
He digs up the garden because doesn't he get a message saying dig?
Yeah, he gets a message.
Yeah, because when he's going under, he gets sent under again, and there's supposed to be he's in a cinema.
Yeah, it's meant to
and
say
he sees something on the wall. For the first time. Yeah, in the screen, but it says dig, and then after that, he just needs to dig. He's compelled.
Because he asked the sister-in-law, try and help me get rid of it. I can't cope, and then it's all the dig, and that's that. And then his wife's grandmother dies, and he knew she'd died as well.
Yeah.
And she gets a phone call, and just before she's like, I'm going to go down and see my grandmother, and he sort of goes to say something, and he stops himself.
Didn't he say it's like too late or something?
Something like that, and she answers the phone, and that's the phone call saying the grandmother's just passed. So again, he's very open. She goes with the boy, doesn't she? And the boy.
Yeah.
He's scared of feathers. He keeps saying he's scared of
feathers. He wants to stay at his auntie's house that night, and then when the mother comes back to the house,
Kevin Bacon stays at the house. He doesn't even go with her to her grandma's funeral.
And he apologises, and then she said, "Oh, I'm coming back." Oh, did she not tell him that he's going back? She's going back, but the son says, "Don't forget your bag."
Yeah, don't forget your bag.
And there's a reason why, and I can't remember why. It was something in it, wasn't there?
She had a knife in the bag because she'd gone out to visit the cop guy. That was a bit like Sixth Sense, because when they walked past the cemetery, the mother and the son.
It was like Shining, wasn't it?
The son is very sweet, like The Shining, and he said, "Oh, how long's your son been like that? Not everybody's like that." And then he's like, "Oh, not you. Must be the dad," sort of thing. So there's a bit of a Shining element. But she takes a knife when she goes to try and track that down. He was a bit of a lost character. I felt like we could have done more with him.
He could have come back and it ended up having an axe
but there
through
was
his chest.
quite a lot going on. There was quite a lot going on through the film. And so because she'd gone to track him down, she'd put a knife in and she'd forgotten about it. The kid says, take your bag with you. So she does. She drives back to get him. He don't want her there because he's dug into. He said, "No, I'm okay now." He's literally ripped the house out. He's got the floor up, everything.
And we are spoiling it, aren't we? So
yeah,
we're going to say that it was. Do you want to say who it was and what happened?
Yeah, because it's significant, isn't it?
Go on then.
Oh, no, you do it.
Me do it?
Yeah.
All right. So it turns out that the girl is buried in the basement in the wall, like bricked up. She'd been suffocated by one of the street lads.
The two guys who own the property together.
Both of their
sons
had killed her.
They'd called her in when the house was being done up, hadn't they?
I think that's the scene that actually kind of lets the film down, because she's overly, I don't know,
trusting.
Yeah, no, but geeky and trusting, like made up to look.
She has got learning difficulty.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, that's what it says in the film. That. Yeah, only mild learning difficulty. She's vulnerable.
Right.
And that's why she sort of went in, because she's a bit of like a loner and that.
That complete went on my
Yeah, and they were the popular kids because they were like
like jocks and stuff. Well, one of them was playing football, wasn't he? So
and they got her inside and they tried to get her to have a drink and the usual. And then
peer pressure.
Yeah, one of them kisses her and then she starts to panic a little bit, and it kind of all just goes from there. And she's dead really quick.
Yeah.
And it's awful, and they're sick and they can't believe that it's happened.
So then the fathers cover it up.
they basically covered for the sons. They found out very quickly. The sons panicked, told both dads, and the dads were doing the house up anyway, and they ended up covering the death up.
Right.
Because I don't know what you do. I would like to think I would take my son to the police station.
Yeah.
But obviously they had the whole lives ahead of them. They were just about to start colleges and things. So they did what they thought was best. One of the dads kept having, a bit earlier on, Kevin Bacon had he'd woke up and he had this vision that one of the dads had walked in and said something to him and then gone outside. And then
he was gone, and then he went to their house and he saw the son blow his brains out.
Yeah, kill himself.
And then he woke up and everything happened again, but the dad wasn't there this time. And
but
then something twigged to him,
the same time,
and he ran to the house.
Yeah.
And he just got. Did he get there in time? Because
shot himself.
Yeah, but he survived.
He said, "Have you seen my gun?" And he's like, "What are you doing?" And he shoots himself in front of him. He survives. He's taken to hospital. He's obviously not going to be go to college anytime soon.
No.
And it's weird because you think, well, what was that about? Then at the end, when we'll jump back. Sorry, we're a bit jumping all over the place. When she comes back from her grandmother's funeral and he's there and he's took the shit out of the house. She realises something wrong when she pulls up.
Yeah.
And when he's been digging, he's got a big jackhammer and all that. They go around and they're like, we can't let you. You've seen it now.
Yeah.
We can't let you escape, type of thing. It was the other guy's son.
It's
of the
just
guy.
escalating.
Yeah,
isn't
it wasn't the guy who killed himself. It was like, we didn't want you to know, and we didn't want to hurt you, and all the rest of it. And obviously the wife and the child weren't there, so they weren't going to get harmed at that point.
So yeah, they sort of have a struggle, and a shot gets fired through the ceiling and hits the pillow where the child would have been sleeping. There's feathers everywhere in his room, and then the father comes in, the one whose son attempted suicide. He shoots and kills the other guy. He's like, it has to stop, no more.
Yeah.
And he was like, they were going to hurt you, they were going to kill you and Maggie, which obviously is his wife. And yeah, so his sort of vision from earlier came back into play because he couldn't fit it at the time, could he?
No.
And yeah, that's kind of how it ends.
It ends
and they sort of move away, don't they?
Yeah, they move away, but it hints that he's still open, and where they're moving, there are a lot more echoes stirring. See what I did there?
Yeah, it's I think it's a good film.
It
actually.
Is, yeah, I enjoyed it.
I didn't realise how old it was now. It's like 22 years old.
Almost.
So yeah, it's there's probably quite a few people who haven't seen it. I would see it, and I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it 4 pumpkins.
I knew you were going to give it 4 pumpkins, because I'm going to give it 4 pumpkins too. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an entertaining watch, and something that like predictable but entertaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm Nate, the Ultimate Movie Geek. This is Mrs. Movie Geek, and you can like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. I'll add the bell this time, and we'll see you tomorrow for another Halloween countdown movie, which is, I look at my list.
Hush.
Thank you. I should have said, no, I'm telling her who. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Sleep tight.